Hello, welcome back. We are still talking about user-defined functions in Python, and now I have an example where we program something a little bigger. We want to make a practical tool that will allow us to calculate the age of a historical figure at a particular point in time. And so we want to have the input asking the user for the historical figure's birth date, and then we want to ask for the date of the event. Then we will pass the data to the function for processing. We repeat the loop until the user wants to stop, and this is our calculator. And so now let's go have a look at the code. Here we go. First we define the function we want to define, calculate age we will call it, and we pass it 2 years, the birth year and the event year. And then we have our string, our documentation string calculates the difference between 2 years, age, and now the age is what we want to calculate, equals event year minus birth year, and we return the age. And so that's all. At this point, the function will do nothing yet. It will not be executed. It's just waiting there to be called. And now we have the big loop, because our program will ask for multiple persons' birthdays and events until the user types the word quit. And so now we first ask for the birth year or quit. This is nice in Python. It would not work in other languages so easily. In Python it works because whatever the user inputs is a string. And so it doesn't matter if it types quit instead of a number. It's all good because it's all a string. And so then in a second stage, we will turn this string into a number in order to do our calculation. We will have to typecast it. Okay, and now the first thing we do is to check for the exit condition. Has it happened? Do we want to jump out of the program? If birth year str means it's a string, right, equals quit. So we can compare strings and ask if one string equals another string, right? And if this is the case, then the user typed quit, and we execute the statement break, which jumps out of the loop, right? You remember we talked about this when we talked about loops. So if you're not sure, go back there and have a look. And so if the loop ends, then we are out and we are finished. The program is finished. It does nothing anymore, right? Outside of the loop, there is nothing, as you see here. And the next thing, if the user did not type break, then we ask for the year of the event. So event year str is the input of enter the year of the event. Now we have to typecast to make sure that we have integers we can calculate with. The birth year is an int typecast of the corresponding string, and the same with the event year. And now we call our function with the data that the user entered. Age at event, not equals, but assign, is assigned the value of calculate age from birth year and event year. And if you go up, you will see that birth year and event year are two variables up here. Again, how these variables are called up here in the function's definition does not matter. I could call them A and B. They don't have to be the same names as here, because the function will never see these names. These names are replaced by Python by the values of these variables before the function is even called. So my function will only see two numbers. Just to not confuse people who read the program, we tend to keep these names here the same as the names in the other half of the program. Why would we use different words for birth year or event year into different places in the program? But it doesn't matter how they're called. You could equally well call them A and B or X and Y, and it would work. Finally, we print the result. F string, the figure was approximately age at event years old at the time of the event. Now let us execute this and see what it will do. I press my play button. I have to wait a moment. The figure's birth year, let's say 1968, and the event is 2025, and the figure is approximately 57 years old at the time of the event. And so now I want to quit, so I will type the word quit, and you see that after the break, I am out. Nothing else happens, right? Okay, so this was it, this example. It shows you a complete and common programming pattern. The separation of concerns is one thing. The function does one thing, the calculation. It does not know anything about printing or inputting. It doesn't care about this because, the dates for the events and so on could come from a file. You could prepare a file first with lots of birthdays and lots of event dates and then call the function on all these dates repeatedly in a loop, right? This would be a good use of this program. So you don't want to have the input statement in your function, right? Because this limits the number of things the function can do. Now you can let it roll on a file, right, and calculate hundreds of things at once. This you wouldn't be able to do if it had an input statement in there. The same with the print. You don't want to be printing in this function, you want to return values. Because, one of the most common reasons why you don't want to print, perhaps it's another language. You want to print in a French program. You write a program for a French market and you want to publish it there and you want the answer to be in French. So why would you print inside your function? Then you have to write a second function that does essentially the same thing and only prints French instead of English. This would be a waste of time. In this way, we can use our function perfectly, and it does not print anything. It returns the number, and then I can print in my English program in English, in the French version in French, or whatever I want. And so this separation between the user interface and the calculation keeps our code clean and makes it easy to reuse, and therefore gives more value to our program, right? Because now my program can do more things. It can work in more possible scenarios, different languages, different users, than if I had programmed everything in one block. So, key takeaways: functions bundle reusable code under a single name, which is the don't repeat yourself principle. We use the def keyword to define a function. Parameters or arguments to the function go into parentheses. The return keyword sends a result back from the function, and functions make your programs more useful, powerful, organized, and easy to read. And again, there is no connection between the names of the variables we pass into the function as parameters and the names with which the function names them internally inside the function, because these two are not connected. They never see each other. So the function sees only its own names, and the names we pass in can be completely different. There is no connection there. This is important to understand. The function does not see the names outside the function, and the outside program does not see the names inside the function. They just pass values back and forth. Okay, that's it. Thank you, and see you next time.